to the dip of the fractures or bedding are parallel to the slope of the land, dip slope. So when you think about this side versus this side, which is going to be more apt to fail? The side that has dip slope or the side that does not? Would you put a house here or here? A or B? Yeah, put it on B, all right? I would love a Mountain View, but I'm going to go to B, okay? Because this side is going to fail. This side is going. Here's an example of one, the Gross Ventry Slide of Wyoming back in 1925. Wow. 9,000 feet high. Look at that. The scarp is still there. It was over, 80 years ago. The scarp is still there. Look at that. Still so raw. Yet 1925 is when that happens. So you look around. If this thing's been moving, look at that. There's the scarp. And at the bottom, you still get this rumply, hummocky ground. Kind of like your bed sheets, the bottom of your bed where your feet push at, and your blankets, the sheets, kind of gets hummocky there. That's where things have moved out. That's hummocky ground. So both of these are telltale examples. The hummocky ground, hummocky means irregular. No other geologic process does this than landslides. All right? The Hope Slide came down as well in 1965 in British Columbia. So I'm just showing you examples. And as they move down, they leave a scarp. 1965 was a pretty long time ago. Look at that. Look at all that rock debris. So these mountains are going up and they're coming down. Here we are. Oh, British Columbia's not done. They're still coming down. This is the slide that just came down. That same area. 2011. I won't show it all. Unfortunately, that's a car, upside down, submerged. So we'll walk away from that one because somebody did not survive, so that's tough. Dip slope conditions. Could you go camping with me right here? Would you do that now? These lucky campers, wake up, look around. Did you take geology? Did you take Earth Science 105? The dipping of the stratus parallel the slope of land. It's gonna fall down, okay? Well, Daddy's yelling at me. So here we are in Alberta Rockies. Which side is it going to fail? To the left or to the right? To the right. Dip slope conditions on the right side, okay? Dip slope, memorize that. Dip slope. Let me show you dip slope right here in Massachusetts up by Savoy. All right, here is a recent mudslide, not a movie. These are all from, this is all from in August, during the rainstorms of Hurricane Irene, okay? And it lubricated the ground. Here's all the debris that came down. It's coming down. There's a lot of water. What made all that debris come down right here? Well, right there. Right there. That is dip slope. It is a fracture. Everything above that fracture, that's the soul of the movement. It's right there. There's a fracture surface, and everything came off of that, okay? So landslides happen right here in your own backyard. Look out, Mommy, it scares me. And here's one back in California, La Cachita. Look at this slide. Right into a housing development. And the thing is, this housing development is really beautiful. It's up near Santa Barbara. The Pacific Coast Highway is here, okay, going from LA up to Santa Barbara and Goleta. You can go all the way to San Francisco. But look at that. Traffic has stopped. This landslide has happened. It covered out homes. It is a repeat performance. In the 90s, it had failed. And the people were told to move out, but they weren't ordered. They were advised to. And they stayed. Lovely view. Oh, yawn. And so that's where, look at the scarp. Look at the scarp. Look at the scarp. This land is not fooling with us. Mountainsides and sea cliffs are supposed to do one thing. Naturally. Fail. Landslide. All right? They're cut by waves and they're made steep and they're going to come down. Watch this. Get out of here!
No, I am not. It's coming down.
Oh my God. Hey, bird. Get the kids. Wow, get out of there. Beautiful place. Get out of there. And other such places. So landslides, I've showed you a lot of California examples because it has a lot of it. And West Coast examples because it's on a plate boundary. But it is all over the world, as we've heard from your own experiences. Look at that. Don't do it. You can't get insurance for mass wasting. Does not exist. Fire, wind, rising water, maybe, maybe not. Okay. Let me take you to another place. Portuguese Bend is famous. It's a landslide. And this is a poltergeist story. Poltergeist, let's get across real quick. Poltergeist, you remember that movie? Yeah, what did they do wrong? What did they do wrong? They put a housing development on an old cemetery. All right? And they were supposed to remove the graves. But all they removed were the gravestones. All right? And so here is a housing development not on a cemetery, but they plowed over, it's on not a cemetery, but on an old landslide. They plowed over an old landslide and built homes on it. Landslides happen over and over again, as I said, in the same place, over and over again. And then this was in the 1950s. It started moving inches a day, inches a day. All of a sudden you hear cracks at night. You can't get the sliding door open. You hear moans and groans throughout the house. Those are nails being pulled out. Suddenly you can't get the closet door open. Let me out of here. Oh, God. And you move. And so here's road sign, rough pavement ahead. Let's go look at it. There's all this area right in here. All right, we put ourselves in harm's way all the time. Look at all that pavement. The land opens up and closes within days. If you got a roommate you don't like, you just take them out there. Duh. They keep having to repaint the stripes on the roadbed because the roadbed keeps deforming. Crazy. Look at that. Here's the old stripes, then these stripes, and now these, and they're deformed, still moving. The sewer line and the water lines had to be taken above ground because they kept breaking. It's still shifting today. Slump. Slump is a different kind of landslide. It's our fourth one, I think. Slump is what some of you might be doing in your chairs. Right here, slump. Slumping down in your chair. Slump, slump, slump. All right? We all slump. Oh, sit up straight. Oh, mommy, shut up. Slump is where you take, it's not a rock slide, but it's like a rock slide. Rock slide involves the breakup of lots of material coming down a slide surface. This is a coherent block, a body like yours, sliding down. So here's a cliff, and then it breaks on these curved surfaces. So this has one slump block, two slump blocks, two scarps, all right, and hummocky ground at the bottom. Slump, all right, slump. Let me show you examples. Here is one along Pacific Coast Highway, covered over the main highway. There's the scarp. There's the hummocky ground. Look at those houses. What are they doing there? Yeah. Not just sea cliffs, but mountainsides, slumping. Looks like you slumped down, right? Okay. All right. Sides of river valleys. River valleys get wider. The rivers make the cut. And then the sides are too steep and they fail by some form of mass wasting, often by slump. All right? With a big scarp up here at the top. And here at Yakima, Washington, here is the hummocky ground. Look at, can you imagine driving this road, this thing is coming down? Woo! Look out. And here's another one, a housing development. Here's a slump block with a scarp. Here's a slump block with a scarp. Here's a double scarp. Look at that, all the way around. And it's starting to move all the way back here. Look at that. Right through their back door. Hey, somebody's here, honey. So that whole area is moving multiple slump blocks. Slump. It's slower. We're going from fastest to gradually slower forms of mass wasting. Oh, here's one in Italy. Look at that. Coming down. What are you saying? Speak English up. Hello, over YouTube. Wow. Look at the whole thing's moving. Slower, all right? Not as fast. Not going to become airborne, obviously. Still moving on. Crazy. Boring. Oh my God, I think he's cussing. I agree. Look at that, still coming down. Crazy. Stop. It's not going to stop. You can run faster than that. Hurry. Oh my God. That is so wild. So, do landslides ever happen here? If I show you this slide on Thursday, what, is this a place that should be zoned for development and built? What would you do? What do you see here? Unlucky ground, like your toes pushing on the bed sheets, the bottom of your bed, or you slump down against the pillows, rumpling the land. No other geologic process. Okay. Planet Fitness. I like that, Jack. All right. And now getting even slower, but involving more water. This is called flow. Mud flow, earth flow, debris flows. It flows out. It flows out fluidized. And it makes a low bait deposit like no other landslide product. It looks like fluid. It looks like fluid. Look at that. It looks like fluid. All right? Flow. And I want to read you a story of the Gentile family who are living in San Gabriel. No, in Burbank. No, Glendale. Glendale, California. And I told you about that Discovery crew that was filming me. After they finished my part, they went and interviewed the Gentile family, because 10 years ago, they had the experience. And this comes out of the book, John McPhee, The Control of Nature, the chapter, Los Angeles Against the Mountains. All right, on a February night, some years ago, the Gentiles were awakened by the crash of thunder, lightning striking the mountain front. Ordinarily in their quiet neighborhood, only the creek beside them was likely to make much sound, dropping steeply out of Shields Canyon on its way to the Los Angeles River. The Gentiles had two teenage children whose rooms were on the uphill side of their one-story home. I'm skipping down. With respect to these principal boundaries, Los Angeles is done sprawling. The San Gabriels, in their state of tectonic youth, they're rising today because of the bending of the San Andreas, right? Are rising as fast as any mountain range on earth. This is true. Their loose slopes laugh at the torrents, laugh at the angle of repose. Rising straight up out of the city. They stand 10,000 feet high above the nearby sea. They are not kidding with this city. Shedding, spalling, self-destructing. They are disintegrating at the rate that is amongst the fastest in the world. The communities of Los Angeles have pushed themselves hard against these mountains, an aggression that requires a deep defense budget in all counties. Skipping on. In the blue light, they saw massive blackness moving. It was not a landslide, or a mudslide, or a rock avalanche, or a conventional flood. In Jackie's word, the mother, it was just one big black thing coming at us, rolling with lots of water in front of it, pushing water, this big black thing. It was like Black Hill coming toward us. In geology, it would be known as a debris flow, it says. Water mixed with a good deal of solid material, some of it sand size, and some of it as big as Chevrolets. The dark material came toward the Gentiles' home, filled it with boulders. The dark material coming toward the Gentiles was not only full of boulders, it was also full of automobiles. It had picked them up on the road, coming down, and like raisins in bread dough, picking them up on the way down Pine Cove Road. It plucked up cars from driveways and the street and crashed into the Gentiles' house. The shattering of safety glass made terrific explosive sound. A door burst open. Mud and boulders poured into the hallway. We're going to go, Jackie thought. Oh my God, what a hell of a way for the four of us to die together. Scott, then I'm skipping down. Scott got down and shut the bedroom door. They had gotten on top of a mattress that was floating on top of the muck that as it came in. They got on top of a bed, and the bed was there like their ark. Scott got down to shut the bedroom door. No sooner was the door closed than it was battered down and fell into the room. Mud and rock poured in. It pushed everybody against the far wall. Jump on the bed, Bob said, the dad. The bed began to rise. Kneeling on it, on a gold velvet spread, they were soon pressed their palms against the ceiling, all the way at the top. The bed also moved toward the glass wall. The two teenagers got off and tried to control the motion. They were pinned then between the bed's brass railing and the wall. Boulders went up against them, pressed into their legs and held them fast. They were stuck. Bob dived into the muck and tried to move the boulders away from them. He failed. The debris flow, entering now through the windows as well as the door. Escape was still possible for the parents, but not for the children. The parents looked at each other and did not move. They reached and held each child. The mother felt resigned, sure that they were all dying. The house became buried to the eaves. Boulders now were landing on the roof. 13 automobiles were packed around their home, including 5 in their pool. The din of rocks kept banging against them. The stuck horn of a buried car kept blaring. The family in the darkness watched one another. By the light of a directional signal endlessly blinking, the house had filled up in 6 minutes, and the mud stopped rising at the chins of the children. It's hard for me to read this, and I've been reading it for years. What you may not know is that your parents, given choices, will choose to die, okay, rather than escape. You may not know that, but that's parental love. Been there. You do it, okay? They all survived. Rescuers went by that house in the morning. They assumed no one could survive, and they went on. And then around noontime, a neighbor went by. Anyone there? And they heard. And so they were all escaped. So John McPhee, you can't get over that. What a story. And with that, I'll try to get going here. It's hard. And so there we have, in Laurel Canyon, not far away from the Gentophiles' home, in that very same storm, a rainstorm in an El Nino year. The mountains are going up because of plate tectonics, and then we have rain, and it fluidizes the land. And boy, I can make that goal. How about you?
The city of Portland, Oregon is under siege
Watch
by some
this.
of the worst weather in decades.
This is 1995.
Melting snow from the mountains and torrential rains
So, well, wait for the melting spring.
caused hundreds of landslides in the steep hills around the city. In the midst of it all, father and son, Robert and Starson Holman,
You gotta
confront
see this.
their own private nightmare. This is a debris flow, a fast-developing landslide.
Debris flow.
Solid earth on top, with liquefied soil as its base.
Not much slope here, but it's enough to
And
go.
moving at nearly 20 miles an hour.
This is one of. Look at that thing coming towards. So here's the mud flow. They're taking a camera on this. One of them is driving the car, the truck, and the other's got his camera going. And the mud flow is picking up cars down the road. Okay, it's wild. Watch.
The debris flow is already pushing a truck sideways ahead of it when it slams into another parked car. And
Oh
finally
God!
hits 2 more. Driving
Go, go, go!
into the side of a house.
His camera out. Dad's driving.
The 2 men in the fleeing truck could be
Father
next,
and son.
but after a half-mile chase, The slide finally runs out of steam.
Dead stop. Wow.
The men are safe, but still cannot believe what they've just witnessed.
Did you find religion? God. And right here, all right, last March, you had a lot of snow last winter, right? Now, you had a lot of snow. Here we are up by Greenfield, Massachusetts. Here's a nice cemetery, all right, and meltwater come from the snow, been collecting, it got dammed, all right, and now it's starting to go. Look at this. Look at that. Wow, look at all that erosion. The land has fallen away. That's a waterfall. Where's the cemetery? Where are the gravestones? Where did they go? Look at that. So here's where the land has fallen away, heading down the slopes. Gravestones, coffins, bodies, bones, all of it heading down. Where are they? Where? Flooding into the nearby town of Greenfield. Oh, man. Car's having a bad day. Another one. Horn blaring. Look at that. Oh, boy. We're kind of all stuck here, Mom. Gee. Oh, God. Oh, man. Look at that, cleaning it up. So this is what nature does. And water and topography are part of it. It depends on the rocks. I'll teach you how to predict this. If the rocks are really hard, like granite, it's not going to come down very easily. But if they're soft and muddy, full of fractures, all right, come down easily. All right? So, you know, would I put a home on a beach cliff? Maybe, if that was on good hard rock. On a mountainside, maybe if it's good solid rock. Get out there and kick at the rock, okay? Don't want this to happen to you. So Dr. A is trying to save you like so many times. And now finally, the slowest way. Oh, you creep it along. Soil creep is just what it says. Soil creeps down. It has the ability by Berkeley, California, to bend fences, to bend over trees. Look at that tree. Look at that tree. Both of them have bent bottoms. No other geologic process does this but soil creep. The tree is alive, but the soil is moving so it bends over. And then it's alive, so it turns around and goes back straight up, making a curvature. Now, if it was a dead tree, it's just going to be at an angle. Okay? But because it's alive, it's going to want to reach up and grow toward the sun. Grow toward the sun. So these bent trees are characteristic. Look at all with bent bottoms. Two of my lovely former students enjoying a field trip with me, but look at the bent bottoms. Look at the bent bottoms. Would you put a home there? No. Get away from that. Soil creep goes so slowly, but it can bend rock strata, it can bend trees, moving it down. So, saving your life, what do you look for? I sometimes ask for lots of these factors on the midterms. There's 7. Steep slopes, steeper than the angle of repose. That's what we did here. Okay? Soft rocks. If they're soft, they're going to get fluidized easily. Lots of fractures. Is the ground fractured up? Even if it's hard rock, is it all broken? Is there abundance of water sometimes during the year? Your spring thaw. Not this year. Not enough snow. Big rains. Is it El Nino year with lots of storm? Is there a hurricane coming? All right? Loss of vegetation. Did you go in and cut down all those trees? You did what? Or was there a fire? We better replant. Okay? And then prior history, I told you, it's not like lightning. It happens over and over again in the same place. In the same place. Prior history, what are we looking for? Scarps and hummocky ground. So those are the 7 ways. You can't predict when, but you can predict that it will happen. Okay? It will happen. So this is how our landscape evolves. Plate tectonics lifts up the land, and then erosion begins to shape and wear it down. The first step is mass wasting. But certainly running water, here's a stream valley, is important. It makes a cut, makes it steeper, and then mass wasting continues. So valleys actually get their width due to mass wasting. The rivers just make the initial cut and make it steeper, and then it keeps falling down. Steeper than the angle of repose. Steeper than the angle of repose. All right, every time. Watch this. Landslide swamp, all shot with a rotating camera, security camera. Whoa, stop that! Hey! Bird. Where are you going? Come back here. Out to the sea. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So that camera's just moving around. Now someone put it to music. Put it up on YouTube. Look out! Look out! Come back here. Whoa! 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 No! 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 Geology's great, right? Oh man, woman! Woo! Whoa! There we go. All right, we're done. If you would like, we're done here with the camera.